you could teach me to forget a banished father, you mustn't try to learn me any extraordinary pleasures.
You know my father, no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he had taken from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection, by mine honor by will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Just my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be married.
What shall be our sport then?
How now, witch, what one do you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor. But I was bid to come for you.
Here comes Madame Belle
With a mouth full of news.
Bonjour, Madame Belle. What's the news?
I will tell you the beginning, and if it pleases your ladyship, you may see the end. But the best is yet to do. You're here where you are. They are coming to performance. There came an old man and his 3 sons. The eldest of the 3 wrestled Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which in a moment Charles threw him and broke 3 of his ribs. That there is little hope of life in him. So he sowed the second, and so the third. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father making such pitiful dole over them, that all the beholders take his part in weeping. But is there any other that longs to hear this broken music in their sides? Is there yet another that dotes upon bread-breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin? You must if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling. And they are ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
How now, father? Cousin? Art thou crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There's such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, lady. See if you can move him.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler? Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your hearers. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt. Too young, sir, your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
Punish me not with your hard thoughts, lest your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial.
The little strength I have, I work you, and mine to eke out hers. Fare you well.
Come, where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth? Ready, sir. You should not have mocked me.
You will try but one fall. How dost thou, Charles?
You cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away! Bear him away! What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father as honorable, but I didst find him still mine enemy. Thou should have pleased me better by this deed had thou descended from another house. Fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. Would thou hadst told me of another father.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was at my father's side. My father's proud of an envious disposition sticks me in heart. Sir, you have well deserved. Gentlemen, wear this for me, when out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks the means.
our court.
Me, uncle.
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let the knowledge of my fault perish me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me traitor.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
Dear sovereign, can we speak?
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along. She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more brightly and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence that on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself, and if you outstay the time, on my honor and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my dear husband. Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine! I pray thee, be not more grieved than I. I have no cause. No, thou hast not. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter? That he hath not. No, hath not. Rosalind lacks better love that teacheth thee that sweeter? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us, and do not seek to take your charge upon you, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. For by the heaven at our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee. Why, whither shall we go? To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden. Alas, what change will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold. I'll put myself in poor and clean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The likes to you, so shall we pass along and let us stir assailants. Cousin, were it not better, because I am more than common tall, that I did suit me all points like a man. What shall I call thee when thou art a man? I'll have no worse today than the Job's own page. Therefore, look you call me Gannon. But what will you be called? Something that has a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Eliana! Cousin, what if we essayed to steal that clownish fool out of your father's courts? Would he not be a comfort to our travels? He'll go along the whole wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. That's the way. Now go we in contempt, to liberty, and not to banishment. Jupiter! How weary are my spirits!
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not so weary.
I can find it in myself, and disgrace my man's parent and weep like a woman. But I must come with a weaker vessel. Therefore, courage with Eliana. I pray you, bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I would rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye. How am I in Arden? The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
I be so content. Look you, who comes here? A young man and an old man. All them talk.
Phoebe, that is the little nigger scorn you still. Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her. I partly guess, for I have loved her before now. No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thou wast as true a lover, as ever sat upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure I think did never man love so. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into
to 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst then ne'er love so heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat as I do now, weary in thy hearer in thy master's praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
Joe, the shepherd's passion is much upon my passion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you, question yon man who would give us any food. I faint almost to death. Peace, I say. Good evening, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I prithee, shepherd, if that love or gold can in this desert place find containment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's the young maiden with travel much oppressed, and faints with hunger.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake much more than for my own, my fortunes were able to relieve her. But I am a shepherd to another, and do not shear the fleeces that I graze. My master's of churlish disposition, and little recks to find the way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his cot, his fleece, and bound to feed are now on sale, and at our sheep cot now. By reason of his absence, there is nothing you will feed on. But what is, come see, and most welcome in my voice you shall be.
I prithee, if it stand with honesty, lie thou to call his pasture and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us, and we'll mend thy wages. I like this place, and unlike waste my time lives.
Surely the thing is to be sold. Go with me, if you like upon board. The soil, the profit in this kind of life, I will your very faithful feeder be, and fight with your cold right suddenly. So how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. Now, in respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. But in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect that it is in the field, it pleases me very well. But in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more but that I know the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. And that he who wants money needs content without three good friends. That the property of rain is to wet and fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep, and the greatest cause of night is lack of sun.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast thou ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned. Like an ill-roasted egg all on one side.
For not being in court, your reason.
Why, if thou wast never in courts, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlous state court.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the manners of the country are most mockable at the court. You say you salute not at the court, but you kiss your hands. The courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance. Briefly come instant.
Why? We are still handling our ewes, and their fells, you know, are greasy.
Why do not your courtiers' hands sweat?
Sir, I am a true laborer. Owe no man hate, envy no man's happiness, content with my own harm, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you, to bring the ewes and the lambs together, and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle.
Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western Inn, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind. Through all the world, there's Rosalind. All the pictures, fairest line, are but black to Rosaline. Let no fair be kept in mind, not the fair of Rosaline.
Hell, Ryan, you so 8 years together. Dinners, suppers, and sleeping hours accepted. This is the right but a woman's rank to mark it.
Out, fool!
If our hearts do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. If the cats will after kind, so be sure will Rosaline. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. They that reap must sheep and buy, then to cards with Rosaline. Sweetest nut have sourest rind, such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose will find, must find love's brick and Rosaline. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool. I found them on a tree.
Well then truly, these trees yield bad fruit.
I thank thee for thy company, but good faith, that
fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let us meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs on their barks.
And I pray you, mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your true love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
And what stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers.
Not so, but I answer you right.
You do have a nimble wit. Come, sit with me. We two will rail against our cruel mistress, the world, and all our miseries.
I will chide no breather against the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
My troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is there on the brook. Look within, did you see him?
Yes, and there I shall see my own figure.
Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I was speaking to you, and I saw you back, and let out Lady Jane. Do you hear, Forrester? What is it o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day it is. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, no sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as the clock.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest.
Are you native of this place? Your accent is something finer than you purchased and so removed and dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. One who was in his youth an inland man, one who courtship well, but there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman. To be crowned with so many giddy offenses as he has generally taxed the whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal. Each fault was like the other's halfpence are, each seeming monstrous until his fellow fault came up to match it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not pass from my sighting, but on those that are sick. There is a man who haunts the forest, abuses our young plants with carving Rosalinds on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I'd give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There is none of mine was marked upon you. He taught me to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am sure you are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not, a blue eye, sunken, which you have not, an unquestionable spirit, which you have not, a beard neglected, which you have not, but I pardon you for that, for your having a beard is the younger brother's revenue. That your bonnet should be abandoned, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. You are no such man. You will rather point to vice, your accoutrements, as seeming the lover of yourself than of any other.
Fair youth, I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it. Amazed to make she that you love believe it.
Good youth, I swear to thee, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But you so in love as your crimes speak.
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as much a dark house and a whip as madmen do. And the reason why they are not so punished is that the lunacy is so ordinary, the whippers are in love too. Yet I profess to curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any, sir?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and come every day to my part and woo me. At which time would I, being but foolish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, and spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world, and to live in a nook, merely monastic. And thus I cured him, and thus will I take it upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, you.
I would cure you, if you would but come to my cot every day and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I'll show it to you. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good you.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister. Will you go?
Rosalind.
Never speak to me. I will weep. Do I prithee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man. Have I not cause to weep? As good a cause as one would desire. Therefore, weep. But why did he swear he would come this morning, and he comes not? Nay, there is no truth in it. Do you think so? Yes, when he is in. But I think he is not in. You heard him swear downright that he was. Was is not is. Who comes here?
Mistress and master! Mistress and master! You've often inquired after the shepherd who complained of love, who's sitting next on the turf. That was his mistress.
And what's of him?
If you will see a pattern truly played between the pale complexion of love and the red glow of scorn and disdain, go hence a little, and I shall conduct you.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me, do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness.
I would not be thy executor. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee.
If ever, as I ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy locks, pity me not. For until that time, I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you, who might be your mother, that you insult, exalt, and all at once over wretched? What? You have no beauty, as in my face I see more of you than they would have commanded to talk to them. I should therefore be proud, pitiless. Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I think she needs to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, was not accident. It's not your leaky brow, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeball, nor your cheek of cream that can attain my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? You're 1,000 times a proper man and she a woman. 'Tis fools like you that make the world full of ill-favored children. It's not her glass, but you that flatters her. And out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments could show her. But mistress, know yourself down on your knees, and make heaven fast you for a good man's love. I must tell you, friendly to your ear, sell when you can. You are left for all markets. Try the man mercy, love him, take his offer.
You, I pray, chide another year, for I would rather hear you chide. Then this man will.
She's fallen in love with your phallus, and she'll fall in love with my anger. I pray, do not fall in love with me. Drive closer than vows, made in wine. Besides, I like you not.
Good shepherd, now thy psalm is all right. Whoever loved and loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe,
Thou say something, Sylvius.
sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Well, I am sorry for the gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both exterminate.
Thou hast my love, is not that name relief?
I would have you.
Thou'st know the youth that spoke to me ere while.
Not very well, but I have met him off.
Well, think not I love him, though I ask for him. redness in his lips, a little riper, more lustier than that mixed in his cheeks. 'Twas just the difference between a constant red and mingled damask. And yet, I have more cause to hate than to love him. For what did he do to chide at me? He said my eyes were black and my hair black. And, now that I remember, scorned at me. I marvel why I answer not again. I shall write him a very taunting letter. And thou shalt bear it, will thou, Sylvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight, the matters in my head and in my heart. I'll be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius.
I prithee! Pretty youth, let me and you be better acquainted.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than mine.
Those that are in extremity of evil are abominable fellows that betray themselves. Every sense you're worse than drunkards.
Why, it is better to be sad than say nothing.
Why then, 'tis better to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is political, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these things. Rather, it is melancholy of my own, the sundry's contemplation of my travels, from which I derive a most humorous sadness.
A traveler. By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's. Then, having seen much and having little, is of rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, and I've gained my experience.
I had rather a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad, and to travel for it too. Farewell, Monsieur Traveler.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
How now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You're a lover, and you've served me such another trick. Come no more in my sight.
My dear Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Breaking hours promised in love.
Pardon me, Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy. Come no more in my sight. I'd as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
I of a snail, though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. And I am your Rosalind. Ah, it pleases him to call you so, but he has a Rosalind that better live than you. Come, woo me, for now I'm in a holiday humor and lighting up to consent. What would you say to me now, while you're very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
And I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well then, in her person I say, I will not have you.
Then in my own person, I die.
Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind in this mind, for I fear her frown might kill me.
By his hand he will not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind and more, come your disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Take, will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I, what such?
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister. We shall be the priest and marry. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Arius.
I cannot say you must begin. Will you, Orlando? Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
I, Rosalind, who take the Orlando to be my husband. Now tell me how long you would have her after you possess her.
Forever and a day.
Say the day, not the ever, nor Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they
wise. For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee for 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, but I thought no less. It's that flattering tongue of yours that won me. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
But if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetic break promise, the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of she that you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore beware my censure, and keep your promise.
You have simply misused our sex in this love prate.
My pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how many fathoms deep I am in love, but it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown body. I'll tell thee, Alietta, I cannot be without the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh until he comes, and I'll sleep.
He comes to steal my heart, oh cause I'll bear my chest to Cupid's heart, oh cause in court or garden, pardon me, I'm away, nothing so cruel as love, oh cause that hides itself as Cupid's dove in court or garden. Pardon me, I'm away. Whoever steals my heart, oh cause I pour myself into the dark, oh cause in court or garden, pardon me, I'm away with the tree. In court or garden, pardon me, I'm away under greenwood tree. In court or garden, pardon me, I'm away greenwood tree. As I love you and you love me, as I love you and you love me,
Fair you. Fair you. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action which she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but as a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter, and play the swaggerer, bear this, bear all. She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, and says that she could not love me, whom man as rare as Phoenix. Honestly, her love is not the hair that I do hunt. He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me. Wilt thou love such a woman? What, to make thee an instrument, to play false strains upon me? Not to be endured. But go your ways, for I see love hath made you a tame snake. But love thee. And if she will not, I will never have her, unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hint and not a word, for here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know, where in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheepcote that is about with olive trees?
West of this place, down in the name of Boston, left with the right hand brings into the place, but at this hour the health doth keep itself does not please.
That an eye may profit by a tongue. Am I not to know that you are the owners of this house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him both to you. And to that shepherd youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. You will know of me, what man I am, and how, and why, and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When last young Orlando parted from me, he made a promise to return again within 1 hour. And pacing through the forest, chewing on the food of sweet and bitter fancy, lo what he found! He cast his eyes aside to mark what object would present itself. Under an oak, he bowed to the moss with age, and high taunt dry with bald antiquity. A wretched, ragged man, overgrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake hath wreathed itself. With her head and nimble threads approached the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides it slipped away into a bush, under which bush's shade a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on the ground in cat-like watch, without when the sleeping man should stir. For 'tis the royal disposition of the beast to prey on nothing that doth seem as dead. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother. And he had rendered him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, he leave him there, food to this tucked and hungry lioness.
Twice he did turn his back and propose so, but kindness, nobler than revenge, and nature stronger than his justification, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him. And there, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awake.
Are you his brother? Must you be rescued? Wish you that did so have contrived to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, so sweetly since my conversion tastes the thing I am.
But to the bloody animal.
By and by, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's law, who led me instantly upon his cave. There, stripped himself, but here, upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and then he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief I recovered him, I bound up his wound, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he set me hither, stranger as I am, to tell his story, that you may excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that seeing sport doth call his Rosalind.
I pray, tell your brother how well I counterfeit.
This was not counterfeit. There's too great testimony in your complexion that this was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do in faith. I should have been a woman by right. Come, you look paler and paler. Pray you draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That will I, for I must answer back on how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
Things may even. At home together. Good news. Receive thy son, her hand with his, whose love in his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
And if there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight should be true, or that my mother do.
I'll have no father, lest you be he. I'll have no husband, lest you be he. Nor ne'er wed woman, lest you be she. Peace home. must take hands. To join in Hyman's bands, if truth holds true contents. You and you no cross shall part. You and you are hard at heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are sure together, as the winter to fall weather. While to wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questions that reason wonder made image. Well, that's we met, and these things finish.
To your pleasures,
Stay, Jaques, stay.
To see no pastime I, which would you crave, I'll say to know that you're abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
It is not the fashion to see the lady of the epilogue, but it is no more handsome than to see the lord of the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. But to good wines they do use good bushes, and a good play proves the better by the help of a good epilogue. For the case in my hand, that am neither a good epilogue, nor can insinuate with you on behalf of a good play. Now I am not furnished as a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to act as much of this play as pleases you. I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering, than to hate them, that between you and the women this play may please. Were I a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that liked me, complexions that pleased me, and breasts that I defied not. And I am sure, as many of you as have good beards or good faces or sweet breasts will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.